Hey love, welcome to my channel, welcome back to my channel. If you've been here before, it's your girl Farida, also known as Curly Proverbs. And in today's video, we are going to be continuing along on our hair growth challenge series. If you missed the last few videos, we have looked at nutrition, we have looked at using Fenugreek and Amla, we have a full regimen. And in today's video, we're actually going to be looking at topical applications that can help to stimulate and increase your growth rate. Now, there will be some people that will doubt or make the case to say that, you know what, topical applications are not going to help your hair growth, but trust me when I say you can double your inches per month. So the basis of these recipes are either for accelerating hair growth or actually thickening hair growth, or a combination of both. The great thing is when you're using nutrition to target issues that you will have healing and you will have restoration and you will have things set in balance you didn't even know were out of balance. So let's get into these recipes ASAP. So I have here the humble onion, literally jam-packed with sulfur, this thing. And it really works. My past experience of this has been when I experienced my postpartum shedding, and believe me, it was major on another level after I had my second born child. When I experienced that, I relied on this as an application to my scalp, literally just the onion. And when I say the sprouting back of the hair was within days. So this stuff is really potent. And the reason it's so good is because it's got a high sulfur content. I mean, amongst the other nutrients and minerals, etc., sulfur is actually the key component found within keratin of your hair. It has sulfur to sulfur disulfide bonds all the way down the keratin of your hair strand. So the more sulfur is available, the faster your hair can be synthesized. So it's basically making the ingredients that it needs to basically have the building blocks of your hair. Now, I get asked all the time, is white onion or red onion best? And the truth is that the nutrient profile is actually different between the two. Red onion is actually more nutritious. It has more flavonoids, antioxidants, and all that good stuff. However, white onions are actually higher in sulfur. So the ideal situation would be to blend one of each to make up your onion application. I've only got white today, so that will do. The other thing I would suggest adding is essential oils. Now, it will have not escaped your notice that onion has a certain smell to it, okay? So the best way around it is going to be to put essential oils in your mixture. Lemon, tangerine, sweet orange, anything citrusy, lime would be really good for cutting through. So you put it into the actual application, also along with some hair growth boosting and scalp stimulating essential oils. And then when you go to shampoo it, put it into your shampoo as well. And the only other thing I would say is that some women have reported that boiling the onion before blending it and putting it into the hair has massively helped with the scent. And oh, one more tip, pick up those metal soap bars from Amazon, which you put onto your hands and it grabs the sulfur smell out of your hands after you've been preparing food. I will link that down below. So without further ado, let's get to blitzing this onion and pray to the Lord that I don't start crying on camera. Look at this, guys. That is some pure sulfur. Goodness. Now there's a couple of ways that you can apply this. I strongly suggest that you make some ice cubes, some ice cube trays up. Here I have my essential oils. I decided to opt for some basil essential oils. I'm going in with about 7 drops. Peppermint here. And immediately that smell is starting to lift. Videographer, nod if you agree that the smell of the peppermint is helping. Okay. And he is very honest, so if he says yeah, then we can take him at that. So as far as application, the best thing to do is to go ahead and freeze this into like 4 or 5 different ice cube trays. Break them out whenever you have a wash day. You can use a cotton wool pad, dip it in and apply it to your scalp. Even if all you can tolerate is 15 minutes, trust me, in 2 days you will start to see hair sprouting. I mean, everybody is different, so I'm not going to say like, you know, 100% of people will experience this, but we have had loads of testimonials of people, and I will ask any viewers that are watching this video who have had results using onion to comment below. So you can go ahead and just apply it with cotton wool. Also, another little hack would be just to get it like literally fresh from the actual onion, would be to open up your muslin that you use to strain it, put in your essential oils via the top of the muslin cloth. I would literally put in 3 or 4 drops and dip into some water, just a little, and then apply it directly onto your thin spots, especially, and all the way along your scalp. Part your hair, and as you can see, all that good stuff will continue to be squeezed directly onto your scalp. Literally, this is the good stuff. However, even with essential oils, I do find it takes me a couple of days to get it out. Without essential oils, you're probably looking at 3 weeks to get the smell out of your hair, sis. So I definitely would agree, or advise rather, that you use essential oils. By the way, essential oils are not to be messed with. They are super, super powerful, and they can be allergens as well, so be really, really careful with that. But I would recommend that you use essential oils in your shampoos, in your conditioners. You know, it really does just take anything that you're using to the next level. Obviously, if you're using it in your shampoo, you don't have to use it in your conditioner. If you're using it in a hot oil, you don't have to use it in every single step of the way. But put it in 1 or 2 things in your routine for a wash day, and you will definitely see your hair game level up, even as far as frizz, etc. Let's move on to the next item, which is MSM diluted.
Yeah.
My eyeballs are actually just crying. But I will say, listen, the basil addition to this has made a world of difference. It has dialed down the onion stink a whole lot. Okay guys, small fail, and I totally lied. We're not actually doing the MSM first. We're going to actually be doing the tea first. You want to grab you 2 tea bags. It can be green tea, it could be just straight regular English tea, whatever. 2 bags, pop them in there, and let's get some herbs. Really important. So Amla. Let's try Amla whole today. I of course also sell Amla powder. You could use either or, whatever you have in your possession. But when we talk about Amla benefits, there's actual scientific journal studies that have shown in mice and in women who had hair loss versus hair shaved off, it accelerated the hair growth in both instances, actually thickening the circumference of the follicles, increasing the circumference of the hair growing out, and also increasing the numbers of follicles that were active and growing hair. So it's really, really good stuff. There's actually journals on this. So I'm using the whole Amla today, and I am using ashwagandha as well. Let's talk through them. Okay, so the focus of the last concoction that we mixed up was actually to accelerate hair growth as well as thicken hair growth. This particular concoction, whilst it can accelerate hair growth, the main focus of this is actually more on thickening hair. So there are some people that say, hey, my hair grows just fine, but it's super thin and I really want to increase my volume. I really want to thicken in at the roots, or I want to tackle things like alopecia. Some of the ingredients in here are very good for if you're suffering from alopecia or thinning of the hair. So we will talk through each of them. I've got my tea in here, black tea, green tea, it doesn't really matter. The caffeine functions actually to block the pathway that produces DHT, which actually speeds up hair shedding, increases the rate of that. So I've got my 2 tea bags here, and then I'm going in for some whole Amla. If you ever wanted to know what it looks like, it's basically dried up Indian gooseberries. So I'm just gonna put in equivalent to probably about a tablespoon. I'm just gonna pop that in there. And we've already talked about the benefits of that. Now, I decided just to change things up, that I was gonna put in my Amla and Bringraj mask as well. This has got Bringraj, Moringa, aloe, slippery elm, and Amla powder. So this is a really, really nice blend. All of these ingredients, right, just grab what you have. Just grab what you have. Obviously in synergy, they work really, really well. Pop that in here. And here I have ashwagandha. Ashwagandha is actually an adaptogen, okay? So it basically helps your body to combat imbalances in your hormones. It helps to balance them out. And ashwagandha actually decreases the amount of testosterone in the body that's able to be converted into DHT, which again, as I mentioned, increases shedding. So this is really good for if you are experiencing hair loss because of hormonal reasons, so postpartum, or let's say menopausal, and also because of stress hormones as well. So if you're going through a stressful situation and you're finding that it's making your hair shed, I'd really love to hear commentary on people that have had experience with using any of the ingredients we've mentioned here. I really would like you to contribute to the conversation below, because a lot of the time people are looking in the comments to see, is this really worth making? And believe me, it really is. So here we go with the ashwagandha. I love when, you know, a routine actually utilizes herbs that have been used for literally thousands of years. They have been around for thousands of years in Ayurveda for a reason. So you've got all your dry ingredients, and I am gonna go in with saw pimento. Saw pimento, if you didn't know, you can get them in tincture form. This is 2000 mg, and let me just tell you, this stuff really helps if you have male pattern balding, thinning of hair, any hormonal cause, but it really has been seen to help with men. In a study that was done, they actually found 60% of men saw regrowth in their hair using saw pimento. So if you have male pattern, this is for you. If you have hormonal causes of your hair loss, this is for you. So I'm just gonna go in with about half a tincture. And then I'm gonna add some warm but not boiling water. Right, so we're gonna leave this to brew. Probably once the water strains down, I'm gonna add maybe another cup of water. I like to have at least 2 of these made up. You can use these as a rinse in your hair. You can use this as a spray into your roots maybe a few times a week, and you should really see a massive improvement. I have to say that with all of these, I highly recommend following a good nutrition program. I do have a video just here showing you what supplements I would advise you use, how to use them, etc. If you'd be interested in me doing like a bit of a day in the life vlog showing you how and the amounts that I'm using of each one, then do comment and let me know in the comments section below. Guys, can we just take a moment? It's the small things in life, I'm telling you. Okay, so I'm grabbing me a bag of MSM. Now again, the reason why this works so well is because it basically is a sulfur source for the hair. Now, there's a few things that you really need to know about MSM. So I'm gonna link a video here. You can check it out. It gives you all the main gist of information that you need to know about taking it internally, because you can take it internally in addition to juicing and really maximize your inches. I have had people say they grew 3 inches in 2 months, which if you actually think about it over the course of a year, that is masses of length. Okay, so I'm just going with half a teaspoon of MSM, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a very simple dilution, because up until now on the channel we've talked a lot about infusing oils with MSM. So a few of you would have noted that when you add MSM to the oils, as I recommended in my previous videos, that it doesn't actually dissolve. What happens is similarly to the henna, when you add it, it actually infuses in. Now we're actually going to make up a solution where it dissolves down. So you can take about half a cup of rose water. Now the downside, one of the downsides to MSM is that it can be very, it can be drying, okay? So I'm going in with rose water. Rose water is extremely hydrating. And not only that, hashtag when you accidentally pour in the whole bottle. Not only that, it also carries water soluble vitamins. So that would be your vitamin A, B, I think 12, C. It's really rich in all of that good stuff, and it is really quite hydrating. And then I'm going to go in with aloe vera juice. One of the things that aloe vera actually contains, I mean, apart from it being optimal for hair pH, is it actually contains proteolytic enzymes. And what that is good for is breaking down all the dead skin cells in your scalp, and that basically helps to get rid of buildup, digest that, break that down, so that your products and all the goodness is actually able to penetrate. Here I have my aloe vera juice. This should really help to balance out the MSM. Now, you can go ahead and you can again put that into a spray bottle and apply that to the hair and leave it in until you wash it out. On wash day, I'm just going to give that a bit of a swirl and put that into a spray bottle. Last step, of course, your essential oils, basil, peppermint. So if you're using a tea, this can be added to your tea rinse that you're using. This can be used as a standalone. You can mix and match with these ingredients. I'm an advocate for using what you've got in your cupboard, but I know that there's going to be somebody who's going to be like, I have not got time for this at all. I would prefer to have something that is already pre-made. I've got you. Of course, guys, we have the Fenugreek elixir. What's really good about this is the castor oil that's in here and fenugreek, which is known for helping with hair growth. Of course, so many testimonials of people on this particular elixir. I'm gonna put it up on the screen. It is our bestseller over at the Curly Proverbs store. And you can see from just that I took out that there is actually fenugreek seeds in there. You can actually see the fenugreek seeds in there. So go ahead and put that through your scalp, do your scalp massage and leave that on. It does actually also contain henna, so the herbs are actually in the base of this bottle. So I hope you found this video to be useful. I'm going to link as much as possible in the description box below. Definitely check it out, and please excuse the fact that there's been a gap in content. I actually had the virus for a couple of weeks, so I am back and I am feeling good and ready to go. In fact, we're about to film the 3rd video of the day, and it's going to be featuring my little boy, so I'm really excited to have loads of new content coming out to you soon. Until next time, stay blessed and I love you.